On MSNBC, there's one anchor over there who just doesn't seem to be able to get with the program. She's really having a hard time, and she's in the middle of contract negotiations, so I have a feeling those are not going to go very well for her. This is MSNBC host Joy Reid, who's now, if you read between the lines, I think making a very threatening statement. Let's watch.
Well, I hate to be the fly at the picnic table, but you can't peacefully transfer power to an insurrectionist simply because it took them an extra 4 years to finish the job. This was a violent transfer of power, the most violent in U.S. history, if we're being honest.
Really? Really? I mean, I saw what you saw. You think that was a violent transfer of power? Come on. So you see where they're going with this. This is a woman who already is sort of sowing the seeds of, if you ask me, some violence. Take a look at what she said right after the election, trying to once again stoke this division between left and right, black and white, men and women. Of course, in this case, she's saying she's done with all women, all white women specifically, whites in general. Here's Joy Reid saying how black women need to lead the way forward in her very divisive, frightening way.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize black communities, black businesses, and that. And, you know, the black spaces, but Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
So what exactly does that mean? What exactly is she trying to do? Why does she want to encourage this division? If I were MSNBC and I were the bosses there, I'd be asking some of these questions, especially amidst this contract negotiation. I do think if they're going to fire anyone, she would be one of the first to go, although they may be nervous about doing so in light of all of this noise that she has been making. But do not forget, this is a woman who's basically saying, you know, black America needs to desert the Democrat Party. This is a woman who's saying that you need to, if your family supported Trump, stay away from that family at Thanksgiving and Christmas. She quite notoriously, infamously said that. And now she's effectively threatening some kind of violence, saying that this was a violent taking over of the country by the Trump movement. I mean, this is somebody who really and truly, I think, belongs in her very own special place and probably not on an actual network, right? Let her go do her little podcast. It's not that bad over here in podcast world, let me just tell her. But, you know, you really can't be in a network space in a publicly traded company. Do not forget, Comcast is severing ties with MSNBC and all of its cable networks. They're going to be spun off into what's being called, for lack of a better term right now, SpinCo, and that's going to be happening relatively soon. So you can see that the network itself wants to distance itself. Comcast as a cable company is hanging on to NBC, by the way. So it's not like they were getting rid of everything. They just want to get rid of one Joy Reid and maybe the team over at Morning Joe, and understandably so. Look, the media was pretty awful in the way it went after Trump from the very beginning. I mean, I remember back in it wasn't even 2020. I mean, we can go all the way back to 2016 when you saw all of these people over and over again, led by none other than Jimmy Carter and Hillary Clinton, trying to say that Donald Trump was not legit. I mean, think about who started it all.
Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put in office because the Russians interfered.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president-elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
I don't see the president-elect as a legitimate president.
You said you believe that Russia's interference altered the outcome of the election.
I do. We have a president who, if in fact it is proven, has been assisted by the Russians and may in fact not be a legitimate president.
The one thing that Trump is fearful of when it comes to his being president is that finally we will see how illegitimate his victory actually was.
Wow. I mean, think of that, right? We don't have to play the whole thing. I think there's like 10 minutes of it, but it's just unbelievable, put together by courtesy of the RNC, of course. But that is powerful when they're out there saying, oh, you know, he's not legit. And you say, wait a second, he just tried to like go back and say, can we have another recount of some of these votes? They were the ones saying all along he was not a legitimate president. You see on the bottom of my screen a promotion for one of our great show sponsors. That would be American Heart for Gold. If you're interested in investing in gold, you know it's something that I invest in. It's part of a well-diversified portfolio and something that, in my estimation, really helps fight inflation. Give them a ring, 1-844-495-1115, or you can text my name, Trish, to 65532. Text Trish to 65532 for your chance to get up to $15,000 right now in free silver. Important to have that hedge and the diversification.